Hi, I'm Dermot, a leadership teacher in Silver Oaks, Bachupally, and which are basically 21st century skills, okay? And recently I joined with Michelle and the 4th cohort. We just graduated yesterday, and I come from Ireland originally, from Dublin, and I'm happy to be here. Okay, Michelle?
So we are excited to do this because we thought we should do something not from the mind, from our heart. Okay, so the topic which we have taken is that career counselors as inquiry facilitators. Okay, so before we even start, I know it's in the afternoon, so we all must be full. We must be drooping also. Sometimes we feel little thing. So I'm going to just say some things. You just need to do the opposite of that. Are you ready for that?
This will wake you up.
So I'm going to tell you what I tell you. You just do the opposite of that. No. You're sure about that, Vishal? Yes. Opposite of that, so no. I like that. Okay. So I don't think so. You have to sit very tight, loosen up yourselves, because you have to stand up. Okay? You need to stand up. Lift your right hand up. Better watch out for others, huh? Shake your left leg. And shake it nicely. Okay? And you need to wave with your left hand. And just don't wave like this. At least look at somebody there around you. Or you just stare at them. Just stare at them. I said do the opposite of what I said. Okay? Be very careful, do the opposite of that. You look at them very seriously at the person on the right side. You look at that person on the right side. I told you to smile, right? No, I told you to stare. So what do you do? Okay, then you lift your right arm up and at the same time shake your left leg. Lift your right arm up and at the same time shake your left leg. Okay? So shake it nicely because the tummy in your stomach should get digested. Okay? Shake your right leg and wave with the left and do not wave with both hands. And just turn and stare at others. Any side. Turn and stare at them. So what is the opposite of stare? Smile. Huh? You can smell or you don't think. Okay, please sit down. Okay. We just wanted to do this because ideas just pop up sometimes. We have the right brain and the left brain, right? So this is a coordination. Sometimes when we are sleeping, when we tell the students, when we ourselves do it, we get energized actually because it just strikes your brain, So you have to stimulate the neurons in your brain. So
yeah. So anybody here who's did the IC3 training, residential weeks, remember 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd be falling asleep. So just try and wake ourselves up a little bit. Okay, so basically this is us, this is myself, this is Michelle. And what we did, one of the great things we did with the career counselling IC3 training, the flagship program, they have a thing called career laboratory. And the career laboratory is where you actually reach out with the students and get them to do some research on their own. And we just found it really, really fascinating, and it gave us an awful lot of insights. And we're going to share a kind of an overview of that, and also how it ties into career counselling in general, and how we should really be inquiry facilitators. And we're going to share a little overview and some of our insights, and hopefully you get some takeaways which will be useful for you in your own school. Okay.
If you look at this picture, it's a traditional pedagogy. Pedagogy is nothing but the teaching, right? So if you just look at this picture for a second, just take a look at it. As you take a look at that, I want you to tell me, what do you see, what do you feel, and what you think? Okay? So you don't have to be right or wrong. You can just express yourself. So someone would like to say, what do you see?
Conversation between the teacher and the student or the counselor as well as the students.
So are the teachers talking or the students listening? They're just listening.
Listening, yeah.
They're just listening, right?
Yeah.
So someone can tell about what I think. One-way communication. Because if you look at that, it's just like a robot where we just sit there. We're just delivering something. Okay? It's their life, yes, absolutely. It's their life, their choices. Okay? So if you look at the screen, this is exactly what most of us, you or me or any of us do that. You know, we are experts and we want to give the best of the knowledge to them. Whatever we have, we want to just blot out everything to them, right? What do you think? I see, I feel. What do you feel? All these three are different. I see, I think, I feel. What do you feel? Someone? Counselor's angry, maybe at home, maybe fought with the husband, some misunderstanding or running like a rat race in the morning. Never know how our mood is, right? In the mornings when you get up, not that all of us are jumping up from the bed and just coming there, to work. We have our own struggles, all of us. So this is exactly the traditional pedagogy. I believe that looking at the IC3, there is a methodology in how you handle things. We want the students to be, the approach should be student-centric. It's not teacher-centric. We are there as inquiry facilitators. And that's exactly what we did, okay? So coming to the next one, we're just going to go into the mentee.com. It's very simple. You need to do the opposite of what I tell you, okay? Don't look at the phone. Don't use your phone. Don't go into mentee.com. MENTI.com. Don't go into your mobiles. Okay? Don't go into mentee.com. MENTI. Did you go into it?
Yeah.
The code.
Yeah, you got a code?
You tell the code.
Okay. Oh, God. Where's the code? Oh, 54876041. 54876041. Okay, you all got that? Okay, what you want them to do, Michelle?
So what I would like you to do is that in the mentee.com with the code, when you enter, it asks about what are the qualities of a career counselor. So you all are a part of being in the counseling, interacting with students. Just one word.
You voted, did you?
So you're talking about your own self, actually. Okay? What are the qualities of a career counselor? I want you to reflect on yourself and give that word. And just submit.
Yeah, code is 54876041. See there?
Someone wanting the code?
Yeah.
You can just raise your hand, we'll tell it again.
Yeah.
Did you submit?
You all got the code? Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Okay.
It's already on the screen.
Fantastic. Okay.
On the top, you find the code over here.
Yeah.
Okay? That one word, what is the quality of a career counselor? Can you enlarge the screen? This one. If you look at this, all your responses are coming on this, on the mentee meter. Talks about what are the qualities of a career counselor. You want to be a listener, a facilitator, a good listener, knowledgeable. There are so many things that are coming up, right? You could be, if you want to ask your students how you're feeling today, you can even use a Mentimeter. You can use this Mentimeter app for anything that you want to communicate with your children, or you just want to do it on a piece of paper, also perfectly fine, okay? We'll go to the next screen.
So back to the PPT, is it?
Yeah. So these are the responses of what we have seen from all of you. I'm sure that we do go in, are we empathetic listeners? Okay, we are knowledgeable, but are we delivering that to the children? Because our children have different needs. Okay, not all 5 fingers are the same. So different students have different perspectives about what they want to do in our life. Okay, go to the next screen. Second.
PPT. Okay, great. Okay, so counselor as inquiry facilitator. Okay, so As you can see, it's quite a different picture. So we had the previous picture is the counselor is the expert, the students are empty vessels, and the counselor is going to give them their wisdom, okay? Pretty much like if I go to a dentist, okay? I expect the dentist to fix my teeth. But of course, the dentist is not trying to ask me what I want to do for the rest of my life. So what we have here as inquiry, we are interacting with the students and helping them. And so we have to think in terms of, see, there's times when the counselor needs to be an expert. If a student says, how do I apply for colleges in the UK? I need to be an expert. If the student says, what requirements do I have for XYZ college course or career? I have to be an expert. But if I'm always an expert, the issue is I'm either trying to fix the other person, or I might be tempted to project my prejudices onto them, okay? So fixing, of course, is things like, let's say a boy comes in, he's very good at maths, he says, I have no idea what I want to do, but I'm very good at maths. And I think he's a boy, he's good at maths. Hey, BTech in engineering, you should do computer science. But have I asked him, what do you like? What's your hobbies? What's your interests? What's your passions? It might be that he's something else. So I'm just telling him what to do based on his skill. Another one might be just, do this career, there's good money in it. Okay, again, I'm just going by what's popular. Another thing as well is, I might even have a positive prejudice. So for example, one of my prejudices is that follow your passion. I believe in following your passion. But I give an example. Last week, a girl came to see me, and she says she's very good at science, but she really likes animation. And she's, what should you do science? Should she do animation? Now, my prejudice will basically say, well, you know something, follow your passion. Your passion's animation. But I didn't do that. I held back. I wanted to say it, but I didn't do it. And the reason why I didn't do it, I try as best I can to say, let's see what she has to say. And as the conversation went on, she kind of went around back to the thing of, I think I'm better just doing the science and I'll do the animation on the side. Now, I personally believe if you want to be an animator, you should probably do it full time, or a musician. But I shouldn't tell that to her because I'm giving her my prejudice. And this is a very challenging thing. So if we really want to facilitate students as an inquiry facilitator, I have to talk to them. Let's see what insights they come up with. I think that's very, very important.
The decision circle is very, very important. Okay, when we were doing as students, as cohorts, when we did the career counseling laboratory, where Dermot had done on Japan, and I had done on the pedagogical practices around the world in the career counseling. Okay, so you get to know different perspectives of things, how they do in the other countries. Okay, but when you come to the decision circle, this is very important for students to understand what are their passions and interest. You know, sometimes we just blot out, okay, everyone are just taking, say in Telangana, most of them just want to go into taking engineering or medicine, or all the professional traditional pathway courses. So now they are having books, textbooks, which are actually old of like maybe 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. We are still continuing with the same syllabus. But actually in this trend, in the next 10 years, which I was telling you in yesterday, there are 21st century skills which are very, very important. It is changing. So most of the jobs are going to change. The trends are changing. So if we as educators are not aware of the trend in the industry, what kind of skills that our children should have in the next 10 years, how will they cope with this? So it's our responsibility to see that we do widen their knowledge about knowing things. In this decision circle, when we had done the career groups for 32 career counseling groups, so we branched them into 14 subjects, okay? Then we had the study destinations as well, okay? And we took the grade 9 and grade 11. So we had around 297 students, and we did research with each and every one of them. Okay, it was just only 3 of them we can do it with, but we wanted to, widen our capacity that we can do something different. Okay, so over to you, Dermot.
Sure. So basically, when we basically the way it went with the IC3 program, first of all, they gave us a project to do. So I was Japan, Michelle had pedagogy, and what was very useful about that was we learn to do the project ourselves, and then we give it to the students. So the students, we're not giving to something that we haven't done. So that's a very good thing that we're sharing, and we understand the parameters of the process. And we're asked by IC3 to give it to, like, I think 6 groups. But we went to our principal, Sita Murthy ma'am, and she says, you have to do it equally to everybody in 9th and 11th. So that's 297 students. And so the way we had to split it up is between industry and subjects and study locations, with a couple of parameters, like we had to have a local industry, which is pharma industry, because that's a big industry around here, Dr. Reddy's labs. We had to have Hyderabad as a study destination, but everything else was up to ourselves, what we did for everything else. So what we did was, for subjects, we just picked the 14 subjects from our school. And so in this case, let's say accountancy, the students have to research accountancy. So remember, this isn't me being the expert. I have to give this project to the students. So we gave 14 groups this project. Industries, we gave 12 industries, randomly picking them really, apart from, as I said, pharma. And study destinations, we just went by, where do our students go? And of course, we had to do Hyderabad as well. So that was basically it. And the way it kind of works is that we would go into each class and we would select a group by roll number. Some students, of course, would want to change. We're very flexible. Both Michelle and myself, our approach is very easygoing. So if somebody wanted to do, say, design, because they like design, yeah, you join the design group. If somebody says, my pal's over there, 9 times out of 10, we'd say yes. So that's basically what happened there. So in each class of 27 students, you have 3 or maybe 4 groups. Now, we had only 4 sessions with the students because we did 2 sessions, and then came a lockdown, and so we could only do 2 more after that. So from a facilitative point of view, we just gave the students the tasks. We didn't stand there and tell them how to do it or what to do. So very much they were doing their own thing, and we were just helping them along a little bit.
Coming to research and exploration, you saw that the different subjects, the destinations, the industries, there were many of them only thought that there's only engineering, doctor, lawyer, or maybe creative arts or humanities. When they came into those subjects, they were like, it's just so huge. Some of them said that, you know, there were subjects which they took up. They were in the groups. They didn't want that beginning. They wanted to change to the other groups. But after that, when they were in the groups, actually, they started liking that subject. They found some interest in that. You know, sometimes for us also it happens, something is very new, we feel very uncomfortable initially. But as we go deeper into it, we feel there is some connection to what we are doing actually. And that's exactly what because we went through that, we understood that. We also wanted the students to experience that maybe they'll have a different perception about things. Okay? Coming here, the research and exploration is very important because you are actually socializing with your friends, with your peers, and you're also listening not only with your peers, with your teachers, with the industry experts, doing interviews with them, and also with your parents and important stakeholders. Yeah.
And a key thing is as well, we didn't tell them what to do. We gave them the task. If they were confused, we talked to them a bit. Especially they might say, for example, food technology. Even we were thinking, what the hell is food technology? We didn't really understand it. So we just helped clarify their doubts. Well, as you see here in this picture, the students are self-organizing themselves.
If you come to data and insights, now once they're doing the research, they're sitting in the group, they're finding ways how to, you know, collaborate with each other. Though we'll have 2 of them agree to the group, 3 of them don't agree to the group, what they say. You know, it happens even in the adult. You know, not that all of us sit there very happily agreeing to each other's views and opinions. Similar way, with students also it was the same. Okay, they have their own perspectives, their own mindset. So coming over here, the language project, it was done by 2 students, Abhinav and Hemacharan. We just picked up from what they did. We just took from there. So they were going into the growth of the languages, and they were trying to understand what is the perspective and the importance of that language. If I'm learning Sanskrit or Telugu, what do I do with that language? What are the careers do I have? Okay, so it's not just only traditional pathways, we are breaking that, we're going into seeing the other perspectives of careers in a language. Okay?
Yeah. So Yeah, so what you actually see back there is they self-organize themselves into different subgroups. Because what we have to do is they have to make a presentation, they have to make a PPT, they have to make a report. This is from the report. Now, before I got into teaching, I used to work in sales. And there's a dictum in sales, and that dictum says, if I say it, it ain't so. If you say it, it is so. What that basically means is you all had a bad salesman who tries to force us to buy something, and we get angry, yeah? But a really good salesperson asks you questions, and then you sell yourself, okay? So if we just give insights to the students, even if they believe it, it just becomes part of their belief system, but it's not their insight. So even if I want the student to have a certain insight, it's better if I give them a task. I know they're going to have the same insight that I have, but they found the insight in their own way. And so the way they researched, we just let them do it. We did not stand on their head. We let them do it their way. Yeah. So yeah, again, collaboration, if we look at that. So we're just collaborating. We're helping them. And again, this is moving away from the expert model. All right? And remember, everything we talk here, we're talking about the decision circle, which is research and exploration, data and insights, and collaboration. And it's not just for this project. It's in general for being an inquiry facilitator, okay? I should work with the students. So I'm not telling them what to do. I'm just working with them. And also we can think in terms of stakeholders. The parents are stakeholders, the students are stakeholders, and we're also a stakeholder. We work together. We don't have to have this conflict of the parents saying one thing, the council saying another thing, and the students something else. They're just working together in a collaborative way.
You look at this, the student presentations, though, so we had 32 groups. So they all came, they did the PPTs on their subjects, which they explored. It was student-centric, okay? So they came up with their presentations there. So each of them had different roles to play. Like how we take a group, we have different roles there. So they were proud to present their findings to the entire other crowd of students who are not aware of other careers or other subjects, how their subjects are related to certain careers. Okay, so it was an eye-opener for them.
Also as well, I think very important thing, a decision we made which was good. In general, what we find, because Michelle's doing counselling, I do leadership training, and in general what we tend to find is academics dominates everything and we get squeezed to one side. So we felt that if we got the students to present in public, they would feel some social pressure. And also, I'm a strong believer that the more students present, the more confidence they will have. So one thing is, if I know, like today, I have to present today, I have to be that bit more focused. If it's just in the classroom, the kids just think it's a fun activity and don't bother. But if they know they have to stand in the school auditorium, they're going to try. And they're also going to feel a little bit proud of themselves too. Okay, there's one girl, for example, Joycey, who I was teaching for the last 3 years, and never once, because I do a lot of like group discussions, speeches, she never ever spoke. And here she actually spoke. So I was very impressed. It was something. And we shouldn't get too worried about everybody being like a star. We have a few students and they should be in like TV anchormen, okay? But that's wonderful, but they're going to be a success anyway. It's just this, every student doing something, okay? And not necessarily having all the answers, but we're just giving them some exposure, you know?
If you look at this, the collaboration, research and exploration, okay? So if you look at this, the parents are involved there, the children and the teachers, the students and the teachers are involved there because they just go up to the teachers and ask them questions, not only us. So they were able to collaborate with many others. And this is the data of insights we got from what students have done. So this is just only one of the one click. So we have so many data insights on that.
Yeah, so thing which I think is very important is to give you an example, we used the career laboratory. For us, it was an eye-opener because they did a lot of funny things with us in IC3. I think, is this useful, is that useful? But when we did this, it was really an eye-opener because a lot of the students, for example, with the subjects, they were interviewing teachers and they were interviewing people in Canada, they were interviewing people in Kazakhstan, all over the goddamn place. And they were really excited. The school was buzzing with activity Because you know, normally with students, they're not buzzing with activity, they're running away from activity, apart from sports and stuff like that. So it's a great example and an insight to us that, wow, if I just give useful interactions with the students, that they'll teach themselves. It's an amazing thing. Because we always think, especially I feel in counselling, it's like we tend to feel inadequate. I don't know enough. I haven't got enough. You don't have to have enough. Let the student find out and we'll work it together as best we can. And something is better than nothing. It won't be perfect, but we do what we can. But we can expand. It's not just for this training. It's also in general, we should be with the students, research. So let's say a student comes to you. Don't just tell them, oh, here's the career. Like for example, when I was a kid, we had a career counsellor. You come to the career counsellor and just give you an envelope or you get a little leaflet and say, here's your career. He would never interact. We had an IQ test one time. He just gives the results. You're pretty dumb, kid. That was it. Aptitude test. You're really good, really bad. Good luck. It was so passive and expert orientated. But we can use this. So say a student comes in and says, oh, I don't know, I like a career in music. Well, I'll talk to you. I'll give you some research. You will come back with some insights. We will talk again together. And after a while, you can present your research to your parents. Because if your kid comes to you and says, I want a career in music, and they go to the parents, oh, son, you're going to be on the side of the road, starving, oh my God, terrible things going to happen to you, okay? But if they come with loads of research, hey Dad, I could do like a sound engineer, music technology, I could do this and this and this, you know? I give example, my son's best friend, he lives in Bangalore, he wants a career in music, wants to be a pop star, but he's going to do sound engineering. Now, one, it's kind of in music, but also sound engineering, you're going to go to a lot of gigs, you want to learn how to produce music, like the sound, and you'll probably be doing a lot of gigging at nighttime, making some books, making connections with other people. So when we get the student to research, data and insights, let's be an inquiry facilitator, and let's talk to the stakeholders, the student, the parents, and you, all together, okay? So, yeah.
Let's go to the, we would like to actually invite 2 students here who are volunteers from our school.
Yeah.
So we would like to hear from them in
Michelle?
a minute's time.
Just 1 second, yeah. So just to remind ourselves, we're going to have some testimony now, but just to remind ourselves, why are we here? Not just why are we here as counselors, why are we here as teachers? Why are we here as educators? And sometimes I think we get into this wheel, like in school, 14 years, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, college, job, good luck. No, the purpose of education is that by age 22, you should be a happy, successful, integrated person. That you're following a job you feel good about, and you are happy and successful. As Ganesh is always saying, like, why should somebody be in a job for 40 years that they hate? Okay? So this is the goal of being an educator, okay? And I think this is the most important thing. We are here to help young people, and we are not here to fix them. We are just to resource. It's not your responsibility to know every job, every college, every application procedure. No, you're just there to help as best you can by sometimes being an expert and sometimes being a facilitator. Yeah, they can. Okay.
So we'll have 2 students. They would like to tell about what they feel in a minute's time, okay?
They both came for career counseling. I'm using this methodology, of course. So introduce yourself, stand in the middle, and then tell your name, and off you go.
Hi everyone, I am Amartya. I'm currently studying in 11th grade right now, and this course, the session that we've had, was quite unique. Like, it's nothing that I've ever been in before. And here it really opened my eyes to what was there. And as sir and ma'am said, they didn't direct me to something. It's like they opened the door. They didn't tell me to go in. They said, just open the door. And they showed me that there is a door. And I could go in and I could see a lot of stuff. So then with that, I've gotten insight into what I want to be At first, I thought, computer science, computer science. But then after that, when I started researching on what options I have, I love computers. So then I want to do like computer engineering, which is actually different from computer science. And computer engineering deals with hardware level, computer technology, and that's the field that I want to go in right now. And I'm open to enhancing my knowledge and seeing, okay, I have a year's time anyway. Let me see what options I have, and that's what this session has taught me. So yeah. And,
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope the sessions are going well. Comfortable, fine? Yes. So, there was this one time when I was in 10th, I was confused what to do. So I skipped my games hour. I went to ma'am and I asked her, ma'am, this is my situation. I have no idea what to do. Please help me out. So she asked me first, where am I interested in, which subjects? And then she asked me, what did I research? I was clueless. So she told me, go home, research, do it, and find out what all ways to do. Find out the final jobs you get, and then come back, what all courses you have to do, what all universities provide the courses. If you want to go abroad, if you want to stay in India, search them up. And before that, what are the subject requirements? So they've guided me. They've just like Amartya said, they've opened the door. They've showed me this is the way, this is the way. It's up to you, your interests. You discover yourself. You find out where you stand and what interests do you have. It's all you. It's just them guiding us to find out what we are. So career counseling sessions were a blast in our school, and they helped all of us in finding out what we are and our interests.
Great. Thank you. These are our students in 11th. We're just talking, we're just talking to IC3 project manager lady, and she said that they're doing she said, guys, the lady that's administrating says you're all doing a great job, that she didn't have to tell you things, you're all self-directing yourselves and being proactive, so we're very happy about that. We're finishing the PPT here because we don't want to bore you, but we're just going to finish with a 9-minute video where it's testimony of students who did the career laboratory and their insights, okay? And then after we can have a few questions, okay? Can we do the video? Yeah, show the video, please.
Hello, my name is Sanjeev Kajipal from 10 Stallions.
I'm Himamamsi from grade 10 Stallions.
Hi, I'm Anjali Iyer from 10th Skylots. I'm studying Civil Works for the last 11 years. And last year I was part of the design project as a part of the career guidance counseling project.
A very good day. I'm Shweta Pramod and I'm from 12 Science.
And I'm Samriddhi from 12 Science. Good morning, I'm Harini and I study in grade 10 at Civil Works International School. And I've been a part of the group that did a project about the pharmaceutical industry.
Well, I'm Ranvi. Good morning, everyone. This is my 10th year in Civil Works, so even I've been a part of the pharmaceutical industry, which helped me know more about the pharma inside, like the pharma industry.
My name is Rishik. I'm from grade 10 in Silver Oaks. So I've been part of the group which has researched upon the pharmaceutical industry, and my interest is science.
We went, we did this project by first researching in Google about the uses of math in daily life and job opportunities we can get from math. Then we interviewed a math teacher on his learning experience and how he decided on what to do in life from learning maths.
So our project, there were 6 or 7 people in our group, and our main focus was to make sure that anyone interested in the field of design knew what their college opportunities were and eventually what jobs they could procure in those fields. So we researched a lot and came up with a plan to help students make better choices regarding their career.
Our project was about the pharmaceutical of pharmaceutical industry, the future of pharmaceutical industry, the different career pathways available in the field of pharma. And we also looked into the educational qualifications and skill requirements one needs to have in order to pursue a career in the pharma industry.
So we had a very interactive session with our counselors, Mr. Dermot and Ms. Michelle. So they helped us on what to research, why to research, and helped us really understand the importance of this research and also listening to others and making our own decisions so that it helps in a foreign education and helps in a better career pathway.
Yes, of course. Their approach was very helpful. The whole project was student-centric. So they were very calm and patient with us when we had I personally had so many doubts because I was interested in this project since a very long time. So my sir, my mentor, Dermot sir, I asked him so many questions and he never said a no for answering any. So it was good. I asked him a lot. He was always there to help me. So yes, I liked how they helped us.
So, our counselors, Mr. Dermot and Ms. Michelle, they first they gave us a few guidelines, as I mentioned before, about how we should cover the project, which topics do we need to go in depth about, uh, how do we attract the audience and make them attentive during our whole presentation, and yeah, they guide us through each and every step. And then while we were working on our presentations and our reports, our counselors gave us a few tweaks which we could do upon our work, and they pointed out some of the things which we could improve upon, like our oration and also the graphics of the PPT and such things. So we had a very helpful interaction with our counselors.
I feel I learned a lot about the career of maths and how it's not just limited to IT or engineering, and how there's like many fields that you can go to, and its application in daily life that we don't really use or mention that much, but it's actually very important as we use it every day.
It helped us discover more about maths and how the true size of maths.
It also helped me a lot with what I wanted to do with my career, and especially knowing such is his passion and how he felt about it, kind of inspired me.
I think the major learnings that we had were to collaborate and learn how to collate all the information that we had into a presentation of limited time, and to make sure that what research we had reached the audience effectively, and make sure that the main objective was reached. It was definitely good. It was definitely more on the optimistic front, because I think this, while it was very objective based, it also helped us and actually made us free of what to do, and didn't really have any limits as to how much we could research. And it was good because we could research how much we wanted to and collate that, because we knew what we wanted the students to know, and because there weren't any academic limits on it, it really helped us make sure that our content reaches the students well.
I think student-centric learning is always a better approach because we learn by ourselves, and this is helps us understand things better. This helps us know what is wrong, what is right, and gives us a better decision-making skills. So it's really helpful.
So yes, it was of course fun. So I have always had a soft corner for researching or exploring new things, and this project gave me a platform to explore more about something that I never really researched a lot. So I liked it throughout from the day one to the day when we presented. So it was very fun. I interviewed a person who lived in Canada who was pursuing higher education there. So it was very fun doing it. I got to know more about Canada and all of it. So yes, it was a fun project. I'm looking forward for more of it.
And moreover, I think because we got to listen to other people's perspectives, opinions, other people's views on the study destinations, I think we have a view of all the colleges across the world, which will really help us in our future career making.
Yes, we definitely did get insights that will help us with our own career search. Like I mentioned before, by doing this project, I've really understood that I'm someone that can pursue forensic pathology. That's something that really interested me. Before, my only career
chemistry was my passion, and chemistry is quite related to pharmaceuticals. So I was quite interested to go ahead with this project because by interviewing experienced people, I got to know about what future I have ahead of me if I would like to take up a role in a pharma company. So I, by going through this project and like reviewing it after I presented, I got to know that there are so many interesting things. For example, Harini said forensics, and then we also have analytics based on the data which we receive. And we interviewed a person who regulated the business between pharmaceutical companies. So these are really insightful approaches which we have done in our project.
Yeah, so to be honest, I'm not a science student, like I don't really like science. But after doing the pharma, like after learning more about the pharma industry, like I really got inspired and like maybe like there are so many streams, like so many different things that you can learn in the pharma, and there are a lot of people who have succeeded in this career. So like yeah, maybe even I could be one of them.
Okay.
So we want our students to enjoy their life, find a meaning and purpose in life. So we just took the rear seat, they were in the driver's seat. So this is the end of our presentation.
Yeah, yeah, just 1 second. Also, if you see, for example, those last guys in pharma, the chap there, what's his name? Rishik, is it? Rishik was saying that, okay, I'm into chemistry, but I saw different aspects of chemistry, and there's also things like analytics. And then the other lady said, oh, even I'm not into the pharmacy thing, but even I might have something, because she realized that there's a business in pharma. You see? So when we started this project, those students by and large knew nothing other than engineering and medicine. But when they did these projects, they're using their insights and they're learning, if nothing else, they're learning about those industries. And also they're learning a methodology that they will use in their own life. They won't just sit there and just do what they're told or just buy into something. They will do their own research. So really, really, I can't think of anything better than getting the students to be inquirers. And myself, I've been teaching in Silver Oaks for 4 years. Before that, I used to do coaching and stuff. But what I found was, when I look back at me now versus 4 years ago, apart from even counseling, just teaching, is I realized more and more, the more I just ask them and let them come up with their insights, the better, rather than me being the expert. Okay, so that's everything done. Questions?
So this is the end of our presentation. I'm sure that as career counselors, we tell students to sit in the driver's seat and we are behind. Okay, when they need help, they will come to us. But if we do not give them that platform to think out of the box, make mistakes, whether silly questions they ask you, we were okay. You know, we are experts. Okay, we think we are experts. We may not be that experts, right? But learn to accept the children, whatever mistakes they make, just take it. Make them allowed to, you know, make mistakes, understand what you want to do in your life. Remember that as adults, even we will look at, you know, why people change jobs in adults, because they're not happy with the job. They're not happy with themselves after a few years. But we want our students to enjoy their life. There is something called as a happy quotient. I suggest that we need to make them to, allow them to dream. Suppose they're sleeping, allow them to dream. That's what we did in our classes, and we saw amazing PPTs, reports, and they're looking forward when we're doing it now. So each year we're building on a Google site. So you know it's going to be a repository of information. When they pass out, they are giving it to their students who are already in the 7th and 8th. So we want to build that. Okay, so thank you so much patiently for taking out your time.
So questions?
To listening to us.
Any questions?
Oh, that is...
It's okay. Any hurdles you faced with so many students, like how did you
Can you imagine just taking 2 or 3, 5 children, managing them?
Yes.
290 plus students, the questions, the resources that we didn't have. You know, we just toggle between things, but we learned as a student. We were not acting as, teachers, come, do this, do that. No. We were in the back seat trying to ask them, what can we do? Students gave us the suggestions how we can do it, and we learned a lot from them. Okay?
On a practical level, we didn't have enough laptops because Michelle had a laptop, I had a laptop, we have a computer in the room, and we have 27 kids. So obviously there's something missing. So after, after the first session, the kids said, because the kids are very clever, we didn't think this, the kids said, hey, can we just bring our devices? So we asked the manager and says, yeah, you can keep the devices, but you have to keep them. So we end up like 10 laptops and 3 phones on our desk. But that was the only practical thing. And obviously you have to be a proactive teacher, because there are some teachers who just come and give it like a lecture. But when you got 32 groups, you have to follow up with each group. Have you done it? Have you done it? Did the interview? Have you got the issue? Because teenagers have a tendency of kind of, I just won't do anything and I just won't say anything. But we have to, that's where we have to be the expert. We have to be the grown up in the room at that time, in the sense of, why can't you do it? How can you do it? Can somebody else do it? So you can't do this project and not be full on. We have to work our asses off, basically. Okay?
Yeah. The teachers, when they were bombarded with questions from the children, they were like, what did you all do to them? First and foremost, we have to go and find out and research what to find and what answers to give them. So when they were bombarded with questions, it was interesting because we were learning, all of us.
Also, organization helps. I'm terrible at this, but Michelle's super duper all this Excel sheets and all this stuff. So it does help if you got some organization, who's who, what's what.
Trust me, I learned it from the students.
Yeah.
You can ask, I shamelessly go to my students, I tell them, I don't know this, how do I do it?
Yeah.
They feel like, they teach me so much. I tell you, adults, we try to cover up our weaknesses, but I let loose of that. So I don't care about it. I ask my students, and beautiful, amazing. When you build a trust in them, they are super amazing that they will work with you. What you tell them to do, they will do it.
Okay.
And you learn from them.
So any other questions or comments? Yeah? 1 second.
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
First of all, I must say it was an amazing session. We learned so much from it. I had a query. I just wanted to know that, if we give them so many choices and things like that, and as they go into each field, they may be interested in so many fields at the end of it. Like, if I was in their shoes, I would be interested in medicine, science. I would be interested in travel. I would be interested in accounts, finance, like so many things. So at the end of all that, if I'm even more confused about the so many choices, at times if you have so many choices, you become more and more confused. So is there a psychometric analysis we have to do at the end of it to realize what we are really good at or something like that?
No. See, we do actually, we do use psychometrics to help, but we don't use that for decision making, okay? I used to work in sales. If I had a blackboard or whiteboard, I could show you a thing called the decision, not another decision circle, which is the buying circle, okay? So let's say I used to sell computers, and let's say somebody calls in and says, I'm thinking of buying a computer in 18 months. Where are they on the decision cycle? Decision circle. So just imagine a circle. So here is, I'm finished my decision. Here I'm starting my decision. So I'm buying a laptop 18 months. Where are they on that decision circle? Where are they? At the beginning or the end? No, 18 months. 18 months from now I'll buy a laptop. Beginning, okay? So, but when they get enough information, they'll come through and say, I'm looking at 3 laptops, I got my credit card, I'm going to buy one today. Are they at the beginning or the end? End. So every student has a decision-making cycle. When they get enough information, when they get enough exposure, they will make their own mind up. So we have to give them the resources and the exposures, but we also have to accept, for example, the other week I had one student who came to me and said, I don't know what to do. He's a science student, NBC. And I just said to him, well, what's your best subject? He says, my best subject is maths. Do you like maths? I said, I really like maths. So I just suggested to him that, well, maybe if you're still not sure, because he's 12 standard. Yeah, okay. If you're still not sure, just do a base degree around maths something. You can always do a master. So some people know what they want to do at 14. Some people will be 25 or 26. So they will all finish that decision circle sometime, but if they haven't finished by the end of school, at least direct them in a degree that they can build something. So they will get there. They won't be, if they're more confused now, it's just they haven't finished the cycle. They will get there. That's it.
In a simple, when you're going to buy clothes for yourself, apparels, don't you do a lot of talking or asking your friends, which is good, what is this? We have to do the similar way. Allow them to explore. Let them come with questions, and after that we ask them, why did you ask me this question? You know, and then we give them, and it's more meaningful. You know, when we blot out things on them, they don't know what to take, what not to take.
So,
yeah, it'll be our perspectives what we give them. But when it comes from a student, it changes their mindset actually.
So the lady in the corner is giving me the 5-minute mark, so we have to go and... anybody else have any questions?
Anyone else?
No? Vishal, I thought you were going to ask me a question, no? You're holding back? You answered all the questions. My God. This lady, sorry, yes.
Sorry, I'll give it.
Yeah.
I came a little late, so maybe I missed something in the beginning. But what was the cycle like? What was the time scale like? Because this sounds like it took about 4 or 5 months at least.
Okay, so this thing, we had 4 classes, which probably, so basically 1 month, because 1 class a week. But we had the lockdown for a month. So if we had more time, it would be nice to do it in 6 classes.
And when you're saying 1 class, you're talking about 27 students at a time.
Okay.
So you're saying 267 students over 10 classes then?
No.
Or all together?
No. What I mean is, okay, so let's say we have 8 sections in 9th and 2 sections 11th. That's 9 classes. Each one gets 1 class a week. We needed 4. So the first class, we gave them an overview of the decision circle. Next class, we allowed them to groups. And in the next 2 classes, we sat with them and said, how are you getting on? Plus, you have to remember, they're coming to us all the time and asking us questions and calling us and stuff.
And when you say that they have to put up a presentation, there were no pointers about like what these are the areas that you can cover or stuff like that?
There is, in fairness, there's a lot of parameters. If you want me to share, I can share. I can share the parameters. With IC3, they always give you millions of parameters. There is actually a lot of parameters. Whether you want to choose all those parameters or not, we have to because we're doing this project. But yeah, if you want us to share, we can. There is parameters. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, this lady down here. Okay.
I'll go.
Okay, so just on the decisions there, so there's 2 things. One, just at the end, I talked about a buying cycle, which is actually sales, because they come from sales, and I was thinking sales. But the decision circle is basically a methodology that, it's basically designed to help people collaborate and work together, and it's very popular in IC3. So there's 3 main stages. One is research and exploration. So a student comes to you, like I said, the student say the boy is good at maths. Instead of me saying, do a BTEC, I should ask questions. Well, what's your passions? What's your hobbies? How do you spend your time? And then as the conversation goes in that session, we'll have some idea about what their interests are and what kind of courses. And I might share some information on various courses I know. And then I say, okay, for next time, I want you to research this college. I want to research this career option. Say music. Have a look at these colleges over here, or have a look. You Google. Say, I know all the stuff on the music stuff, but let's say you research and you come back and chat to me, and then we go back and forth over a few sessions. Maybe we use a psychometric test now and again, and then if we need to, we get the parents involved. I'm not a big fan of getting parents involved unnecessarily because they can be troublesome sometimes, but to some degree, because sometimes they're, I want to come in and have another chat. So if it's necessary, we can collaborate with them, which would be really, I think what a lot of parents, if a student says something like, I want to do music or something like that, Indian parents will be worried they're going to starve to death. They have this image that my kid's on the side of the road in the cardboard box and all this stuff. So we have to, and the parents in our school, they're kind of middle class parents. Half the parents are in IT, half are small business people. And you can see they have that stressed middle class look about them. They're stressed out. They're not like millionaires, okay? So we have to talk to them and support them. And if the child shows that they did research, they'll start thinking, hey, that's not just my kid being crazy. My kid's serious about this career. My kid's showing me options and possibilities. And so we're trying to win over the parents. And also look at all the factors, how much money people have, what responsibilities. We're not jumping to conclusions. So that's it. So research, data, collaboration. And you just keep reiterating that till you get to where you need to. Yes.
Yes, yes.
And then he shares that with us, and he can share with and tell you if a child shows a parent, say a 14, 15-year-old kid, shows their parent this course, that course, this, the parents are saying, wow, they're really interested, maybe. Because this is the way it is as a parent. And if your kid says something, oh God, this is their fad of the week. But if the kid, see, because most kids won't have the know-how, but if we do this with them, they will start to have the know-how, and the parents will be impressed. And a new conversation will happen in that family.
With your
stakeholders.
Parents, the teachers,
parents, kids,
your peers, industry experts. So we would like to say that we have already established our career counseling space in our school. We have established that. We have things all in place. We have 5 career counselors. After we have taken up this project, things have changed a lot in our school, and I'm certain that you will also be inquiry facilitators. So wish you all the very best. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.